Alright, we got a game that I'm hopefully going to actually record that's going to be good. So we have Skylar picking mouse. And Hammer. So that's a pretty strong pick. We can sort of PR Skylar for that. Well, mouse says it. Gonna unpick. Wait, no, this has gotta be an on reject. Yeah. So we're just gonna, I'm not even gonna do it like this. I'm gonna do it this way instead. We're gonna like use highlighter for it to indicate that it's some pretty bad blood here. That is a pretty cancer pick, though I agree with mouse. Whoops, a daisy. Keep switching the color by mistake. Tom then picks Starbird. Don't think Blue Arrow's going to be predicting unless, you know, unless Starbird feels like. But like, what is Starbird to get from this, right? 1.4 just picked him. Starbird is trying to res these two. Starbird does look very good based on M1s. You know, given everything, I'm just gonna draw the box. This is the box of happiness, though. Star is res. Pretty good. Yeah, I think you can just pick anything here, Star. You don't have to really worry too much. ARM called themselves PR. Why don't you pick ARM? Feels Riddle picked you. Why not pick him? Actually, no, I might pick Tom here. I think I might pick Tom here. Once I'm getting rezzed. Yeah. Let Tom pick M2 and then become the spy to whoever he picks. Never mind. It's an appealing pick to me if I'm a VT. I'm gonna think Starbird's not a VT this game. Let's do it. PR question mark. Especially picking Skylar, who got on rejected. Wait a minute. This pick. This pick is so evil. No, is it real? No. Oh, it's not even a pick reject. Oh my god. So the people have bought it. People bought into Starbird and Automouse and Skylar being 3 res. With Starbird being a PR. Man, that's brutal. That's brutal. Oh, Jesus. I think Starboard is a PR. Very much a PR. Who is Merlin? I can't wait to find out who the spies are, because figuring out how Starboard came to the conclusion to pick Skylar is the game. Like, if you can figure out how that happened, then you can make her Percy. Or, I mean, him Percy. Instead of Merlin. That's the only way. Right now, he's just Merlin and nothing else. Because I don't know who the two spies are. If Skylar turns out to be a spy, then I don't think the Starboard's ever Merlin anymore. So, we'll see what happened this game. Everybody's picked mission 1+1. You better pick clean, by the way. So Arthur's spying mission 1, saying that, by the way, saying pick me, pick Starboard. Yeah, pick left-hand side, essentially, because he spied Dee Dee to Tom, and he's saying that in one failed. So you can either pick Starboard or Mouse, but if you pick Arthur here. Like, I would totally pick Arm here. Yeah, no, that's easy. Arm is like... I think Arm is PR/spy. He's trying too hard. I think this is not the pick. Ever. This was never the pick. I don't get... What? I think Arm is spying Tom. I would totally spy Tom here. But who do you pick? If you're Starboard. Pick Mouse, Skylar, yourself, and somebody else. Yeah, I do like Arthur. This is... so much info is being spread right now before anything. Like, this is mission 3. I just have trouble finding the highlighter. I think Tom is rezzing Arm, by the way. So that's the cycle. This pick. Clean app, says Starboard. Well, now Starboard can be a spy if this fails. Okay. The only reason I'm not, like, going nuts over that pick right now is because of Mission 2 and Mission... or 2.2 and Mission 2.3. That's it. That's the only... Otherwise, I'd be going nuts right now, being like, Starboard can never pick that. Da-da-da-da-da. I don't know if... I mean, I don't think Mission 2 doubled. So the ad is probably in Tom or Dee Dee, but... Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how left-hand side didn't get picked for Mission 2. I think Tom just chickened out and is just a spy, you know? Like, when you're getting told as a spy by a res to pick clean, and you have Mission 2 hammer like that, it's a lot of the times the spy will just chicken out and just pick something nonsensical like Starboard and Dee Dee, which... even if he's listening to Arm, that's never the pick. Because Arm literally, like, just ignores everything. just so they don't have to like they can. But then he reses Armthur. That's kind of the weird part. So. Yeah, Starbird is a PR. There's no doubt about that in my mind. And I think they're always res too, so I think they're just Percy or Merlin. I'll upgrade that. Oh my god. I think I can't. I don't. This is 1.1 and 1.2 are just completely gone now. They've both been overridden so hard that I just can't help but think that they're both res. It's ridiculous. Well, one thing's for sure. There's definitely a res in here because the spy pair would never play this way. You wouldn't pick M1 Hammer and your spy mate ever. That's not a thing. And then you wouldn't be like, oh, fuck you, pick reject your own spy mate. It's just too much. Like, you would never do that. I guess, they have to get to mission 3, right? But the only thing you get out of it, I guess, is if people really believe what I just said. Like, okay, so both the ads rejected, by the way, this team as being viable. So I have to think there's a spy here now, which means there's exactly 2 res here. Armthur's pick was correct, in my opinion. I have to think Armthur's M1 is correct. Is Tom's... Yeah, no. I think Starbird is still res. Is it Star, Skylar, and then one of Dee, Fields, Riddle, and Arm? That would be really optimal, because then Skylar could be a PR for sure, from the spy's point of view. Picking square. Seems correct. Yeah, this pick makes a lot of sense. Everyone's rejected Skylar and Mouse being same team, so I actually really like this pick from Mouse. It's just very logical. And it only gets 2 apps anyway. I like the fact that Mouse apped that, too. 1, it's logical. 2, you're apping, so you're okay with not being Hammer. And I think Mouse is, if they're reses, they're probably not a PR. Go run it back. That might be classed as unfair influence, but I don't really care. I'm mostly saying that for the benefit of anybody watching this video. I agree. A Riddle is not acting like a res. Honestly, what would you pick if you're Armthur here? You see 3.3 get 3 apps, right? Dee is probably getting picked. I would pick Starbird, and then it's just one more person. Not Fields Riddle. Do you pick Skylar, or do you pick Square? I mean, I'd pick Dee. Dee rejected every single mission 3 they were on. You're not ever picking right-hand side, right? You could pick right-hand side. There's an argument there. Maybe starboard if somehow a spy. But I don't really see it. Oh. I take back what I said about Didi. Didi says that they rejected cleans, so no longer like them for the rejects. Now I might not pick Didi. I might pick... I'm definitely not going to add myself to Starboard, Anonymous, and Skylar. That is like... That is such a bonobo pick. Okay. This was the other pick. Okay. So now Mouse is Comfrez. So Didi is saying Mouse and Starboard can be two spies. Oh my god, I just did it. This is unholy. Skylar's res. What the fuck? So Didi's calling two teams now. Didi's calling this team, and Didi's calling this team. So you think it's sine or cosine, huh? But Didi didn't really call that team, did he? I guess... Wait, didn't Didi call one of the teams? Yeah, he called... Yeah, he called anti this. That's... Yeah, that's cosine. Not so sure that the people have highlighted blue are all the res, by the way. Not anymore. It would have been so easy for Tom to just pick left-hand side, in my opinion. I really don't like Tom being res here. Okay, so starboard says there's a res in Armthur DD, so I think Feels Riddle is just... I'm done with Tom. What Tom is saying is not agreeing with the table. Oh yeah, starboard just said DD and Arm has a spy. Right there. Right, M4 just failed, right? So Arm is kind of spying starboard. So starboard is calling this exact team. Right hand side plus starboard. Ouch! Youch! 3.3. I don't think that Armthur and Feels Riddle are talking like a spy pair. But it could just be an act. Starboard does kind of sound spyish to me. But at the same time, I really don't like Tom this game. So, oh man. I guess that's the two teams now. We can highlight that. We got this, which I'd already said earlier. And this, which I did not say earlier, because I thought Arm was kind of res, but now I don't. So those are the two teams, and there's a bit of overlap, so I guess DD is conf res now. I'm picking right-hand side and starboard clean. I don't know. Mouse does use capital quite a lot, so that's kind of disingenuous. Everybody always says they don't do things as a spy, so they're obviously res. I mean, 2.5 is completely nonsensical to me. I got exactly 2 apps. Just pick anti. Starboard's a PR. Who is Merlin if Starboard is not? We're just going to start assuming that that's it. Merlin. No, you don't get to off app just because you know it's your team. I was going to off app 2.3. This is getting picked. Ah, GG. Don't fall. I do love the GG calls by spies. It's really annoying, actually. I think you shouldn't do it, personally. Okay. They got the correct team. Now, who's the other power role? It's Dee Dee. Starboard ever on Merlin. Okay, but that M2 is based on reads, right? It's not based on logic because, well, it's not based on picks, I mean. Because, picks are freaking atrocious. Like, Mouse is never... Skylar's never Merlin. Mouse is never Merlin. Mouse could be Merlin. I take it back. This is exactly a VT. I don't even think Percy would do that. Pick a Merlin and a... Pick a Merlin and a VT. No. This person could be Merlin. This person is probably not Percy. So Merlin / VT it is. Those are my things. I pretty strongly believe these two are the pair. Start a Mouse, huh? No. I strongly think DD is a PR, by the way. Starboard went and picked Skylar. Like, Skylar's clearly a freaking PR. The question is, who are they Percy to? You know, they have multiple Merlins. That's kind of an issue. So now we have it, right? Armthur is Assassin. Morgana on picks Starboard. Armthur picks Clean. That didn't really mean anything. They think DD is a VT. But they never unmerlined. I mean, they unmerlined in Mission 3, rejecting 3.3. But I mean, I don't think that's enough of an unmerlin for me to think that they're just a VT. Oh yeah, I do agree with Tom. I think I'm shooting Starboard here quite a lot. Just trying to figure out who Starbird's Merlin is. I guess it would be Mouse over Skylar. Like, why is Skylar? What the heck? What the heck is going on if Skylar is Merlin? Skylar that picks M1, gets pick rejected by a VT, and then Percy on-picks the Merlin, and then the Merlin picks the freaking VT. Man. You think Skylar could be Percy to Mouse? No. I do not accept that Starbird is a VT this game. It does not compute to me that Starbird could be a VT this game. Like, Mission 1, Starbird's like, guys, what if Anon and Skylar are both Res? Then Merlin's gonna die. And I'm sitting here like, this is the most PR-ish chat of all time. And they just completely... And then 2.2 happens and 2.3 happens. And you're just like, well... I'm kicking myself that I even considered, like, de-highlighting these ones. But they were always 3 res. From the get-go, they were always 3 res. And Starbird was always the PR pointing it out. Like, oh man, I don't see how Starbird could ever do that as a VT. I certainly never could. And I have a mad amount of respect for somebody who could, as a VT, call that, you know? Now, I could see Percy to Mouse. Percy to Mouse makes a lot of sense, because Mouse says the thing, right? Oh, this is a toxic pick, da-da-da, and I'm going to pick reject you. And Starbird's like, oh, well maybe that's a res. You know, maybe that pick reject isn't really meant as a reject. But maybe they want to pick this person. Okay, so, like, think about it like this. Starbird's Percy, Mouse is Merlin. Mouse's Merlin sees a VT, or sees somebody off-pick them, and M1 Hammer, who is also res. And the person that picked you is res. Okay? If I'm Merlin there, I'm like, okay, this person is not Percy. I'm going to on-pick them. Right? Or I want to on-pick them. But I need to find a way to on-pick them that gives information to my Percy that doesn't out me as Merlin. How do I do that? Well, I can pick reject. I can complain loudly in chat, hey, I don't like this pick, and then pick reject them, right? That looks like I'm spying them, quote unquote. And then you can kind of get away with it. Like, I could totally see that. I don't... What? I don't see why Mouse is... Oh, wait, okay. The spies refuse to see Starbird as a PR, and I don't understand it, honestly. Everything Arthur has said, VT's Starbird. I don't. DD's never Merlin. Yeah. Yep, I'm wrong to think that Starbird's Percy is DD, actually. Now that I think about it more and more, I think they're Percy VT. I'm not sure who Starbird's Percy is, because I'm not totally certain it's DD. You know? Who could it be? Would Mouse do this as Percy? Arthur mentions that as I say it. That's a bit chilling. Because that's my mind, is a Mouse to Starbird. Mouse sees a VT off-pick them and a Merlin, right, thinks I'm going to pick reject that person, right? Like, I think they're assassin, right? Because, and they picked Merlin, so I'm kind of Merlining Starbird, but then Starbird picks Skylar, so then they go along with it in 2.3. Skylar then outs, like, PR, quote unquote. So Skylar had really great strat, I'll give him that, but I think they're always a VT. Could be Percival. I'm so uncertain of everything, but what I am certain of is that Starbird is a PR. And I just need to figure out whether or not they have a Percy. I could see Starbird to Percy being strong. At the end of the day, if Starbird's a VT, I'm going to have my undying respect for them at the end of this video, because holy shit. I don't see it. I don't see a VT doing what Starbird did in M1. Ever. It's too strong. Like, you just look at 1.1 and 1.2, and then you look at 2.2 and 2.3. You look at 3.3. DD is actually a VT. Yep. Yeah. Merlin would never reject this, right? Because they're the final ad. Tom already rejected this. He then tried to call for it later. I should have recognized that. He rejected it and then called for this. But he wasn't really calling for this. He was just calling for this. I think I can upgrade Skylar. I'm no longer certain they're a VT. Could they beat Merlin, though? Picking 1.2? And then 2.2? Like, the problem is, like, 1.1 is just such an un-Merlin. But then they redeem themselves so much with their picks afterwards. Right? Like, Skylar is the one that picked 3.3. And they chatted so well. Oh, God. I'm really doubting my reads here. I'm going to be really, really surprised when Starbird turns out to be a VT. I don't know if I can say that enough. Man. In a way, the spies have kind of convinced me of this. But the fact that they don't think that Starbird is a PR is just crazy to me. I could see Starbird. I think Starbird's Percy. I think Starbird is exactly Percival. Okay, I gotta change my GM. Oh, man. Because the chat, right? Like, oh, Arm is assassin, but... Man, never mind. I had a read based on Starbird being Percy to Armthur and somebody else. Maybe I go back to Starbird being Merlin. Damn. Alright, I think I'm done. I think I am prepared to say that it's either Starbird or Starbird 2 Anonymous. And those are the pairs. The pairs are these two and these two. Which, I mean, that's what they always were when I'm saying Starbird is always a PR and DD is always a VT. It was. Haha. I was VT. No way. Oh no! I got the right Merlin. How did they shoot DD? What the fuck? So I got so much wrong here. Okay, this person was a VT. I got that right, and I upgraded them a bunch. But Skylar was a VT. Dude, how does DD reject 3.3? I'll leave it.